If you're looking for a simple way to analyze the gold market, well, you're in luck because this video is going to break down my analysis for this upcoming week. It's also going to go over my entries, my exits, and my profit target zones. So make sure you watch this video multiple times if you need to be able to understand all of the nuggets I'm about to give you in terms of trading XAUUSD. Let's just go ahead and start with very clean charts. I'm Lakeisha, and if you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up while you watch me break down this market. So let's just go ahead and remove all drawings, and then as usual, start on the weekly time frame. All right, great. So a couple of things that we should focus on for this upcoming week is the fact that we do have a holiday. There's MLK Day on Monday, and then on Tuesday we have the inauguration, and then we have unemployment rate data, and then we also have another event around manufacturing that should come up this week as well. Taking those things into consideration for this upcoming week, basically, I'm going to exercise some caution just because with the inauguration, it could cause some spikes in either direction. So let's just go ahead and break down this market and see what our game plan is possibly for this upcoming week. So if we just take a quick look on the weekly time frame, we can see for the past 1, 2, 3 weeks, we've had bullish candles here on the gold market, and they've moved quite nicely actually. So this week I was actually looking to take a trade, kept missing it, finally took my trade, and then got stopped out by a few pips. So thankfully that trade was covered by some gains I already took, so it was really nothing lost really. So anyway, so we look at the market, we can see that we're trending bullish. We do have some weak momentum right here in this candle. If you are tired of missing out on gold in this blueprint, you're going to get an easy to follow profitable gold trading table as well as profitable entry levels and strategies. If you've tried to decode things like FOMC, geopolitical events, you may have tried without much success. And in this blueprint, you're also going to master simple strategies that the big players like banks and institutions follow, and then also be able to spot profitable opportunities so that way you could avoid some of the common traps that other traders fall into. And then of course, you're going to save hours of research with a clear and actionable plan inside of the gold market. Just take a look at what some people are saying about this. So go ahead and grab your copy of the Profitable Gold Market Blueprint today. The market could either pull back a bit and then continue to push up, or it can completely reverse. Obviously, we do not know, so we're going to mark up the charts just to give ourselves a fighting chance for this upcoming week. So the first thing I'm going to do, mark off the highest high inside of the market right here at around 27.90, and then the next thing I'm going to do is clone this level and then mark off some other levels. So another level that I want to mark off is right here at 27.16. And then I also want to mark off another level. It's a little tricky, but let's just go ahead and mark it off at 26.14 for the moment. And then I'm going to mark off one more level here on the weekly time frame. This is also a little tricky because we have this gap here. It didn't quite open up where this candle closed. So we're going to place this at about 25, let's just say 59. And then as we go down to lower time frames, we are going to adjust these levels so that way we can get very precise with our support and resistance levels. And some of you have told me that you have made money from these free videos. I'm so glad that this is helping you and that it's helping you understand the market and also potentially profit from the market. So keep those positive comments coming. I love hearing that when you all are doing well, and it lets me know that these videos are something that I should continue to make. So continue to do that. Now that we're on the daily time frame, I'm just going to zoom in a little bit just to give a little bit more information. So as we go down in time frames, then the candles, we get to see more data on the charts. So our weekly candles turn into roughly 6 candles in the chart on the daily time frame. So now we have the daily time frame. I like to start from the top. This looks great. This was our all-time high. This level right here, if we just push this up just a little bit, I just want to have it aligned with these wicks. So this wick, this resistance, this wick, and then also this is kind of a support area right here, but I want to focus on most recent price action. So that is looking good so far. We do have this really big zone from 27.18 roughly down to 26.14, so about 1,000 pips. So we're going to make some adjustments on this level, and we're also going to add additional levels to this time frame just so that way we can have nice tradable zones. I'm a swing trader, so I like to have slightly wider zones, but if you're a scalper or a day trader, you may want to mark off some other levels inside of here, just so that way you can have more tradable zones. That's definitely something that I used to do when I scalped and when I day trade. These days I mostly swing trade because I don't have a whole lot of time to look at the charts. So anyway, so I'm moving this level down to 26.03. And looking at this other level before I make adjustments, I'm going to move this down just a little bit down to, actually, I'm going to move it down a little bit more. I'm going to move this down to 25.53, really close to 25.50. So a nice psychological level. So that is cool. And like I said, I'm going to add another level. So I'm going to clone one of these levels and just try to find a line that makes sense to me. So right here. So I chose this level of 26.59 mainly because we have a nice support here on the daily time frame, and then I'm going to do the same thing right here, and it's probably for the same reason. As you probably guessed, right here we have a nice support, and now we have nice tradable zones. We may even mark off some other zones in here. As a trader, I like to make sure that I have really nice zones, at least 100 pips. So let's just go ahead and measure these zones super quick just to make sure that we have enough. Okay, so this is 585 pips, definitely more than enough for me. And then let me mark off these other levels, or at least measure them just to make sure that I have enough there. So this one is 278, perfect. And this one is, let me go ahead. Okay, 28, okay, yeah, 282. Okay, perfect. Definitely large enough zones for me for this market. Everything is looking good so far. So let's go ahead and go down to the H4 time frame, reset. All right, so now you can see that we have a lot more data here, and I got to squeeze in the candles. Yes, they're looking really slim, but I need to see all the data. So if we go back to the top, this is looking good. However, I'm just going to move it down just a little bit, just so that way this bar is covering the wicks. And let me zoom in just so you can see what I'm talking about. So right here, I have the bar covering the wicks. So that's all I wanted to do there. All right, so let me scoot this in. So let me go to most recent price action. And I want to adjust this level up just a little bit. So now we're setting it at 27.18, and you can see that we have the wicks touching this level right here. And we may make further adjustments on maybe the H2 or the H1 time frame, but for right now, this is looking great. And then this level right here, I do want to adjust it. So this is at 26.58, mainly because I wanted to line it up with this most recent support that this is a level that we drew on the last time frame. And then the same for this one, I want to move it down a little bit to 26.59, really close to 26.30. It doesn't have to be perfect, but I really like when the levels match up with a nice psychological level. And the same with this looks perfect. And then looking at this is a little tricky, but I am going to move this down so that way it aligns with this support right here. So this is now sitting at 25.45, really close to 25.50. So now let's go down to the H2 time frame. All right, so now you can see it's getting a little bit more difficult to look at all these candles. So let me just go ahead and zoom in and go back to the very top of the market. So this is looking great, amazing. So let me just scoot all this over. So now we can see these three peaks here, this 1, 2, 3. I do want to move this up so that way it's in alignment. Let me move this over, move this up so that way it's in alignment with this most recent resistance. And this is sitting at roughly 27.20. Awesome. And here, this is looking great. This is looking great. We adjusted these levels on the last time frame. And then right here, this is looking, let me zoom in. Okay, so this right here, I want to take this level and line it up with this support right here. So now we're sitting at 25.99, really close to 2600. I like it. So that's going to stay there because I really like that number. And we do have this little issue right here. If you wanted to, actually, I'm just going to do it. So I'm just going to line this level up with the lowest support level. It formed a support here and then pushed off. Even though it created, well, it didn't even create a lower high. It created a low and then it started to reverse within here. So I definitely want to mark off this level right here. And you can kind of do the same for this other level, support level right here if you wanted to. For me, I don't know if I want to keep this because I don't think that this range, let me measure it. Yeah, this is only 77 pips, so that's not enough for me, but if it works for you and your trading plan, go ahead and mark it off. I think it could be a really nice level, but for me, we're just going to keep this line right here. So sometimes I just use the boxes or the lines. It basically means the same thing. So I just do the line in that situation, or did the line in that situation because it was quick. So cool, and this level is looking great. Let's go to H1. So this is going to be the time frame that we finalize our analysis before we get into the game plan in terms of figuring out where I'm going to buy and where I'm going to sell. So starting at the top, this is looking great. I don't really have to adjust anything so far, even though we have some overhang here. It's totally okay. I'm just going back to most recent price action. And now I see a situation. So let me zoom in. All right, so that kind of helped, but not really. So there's a lot of information here. But the thing that I see, let me zoom in on this. So the thing that I see right here with the most recent price action, and you can see because the market closed right here, most recent is we formed a resistance here on the H1 time frame. So I just want to go ahead and push up this level up to this resistance and make sure that the wicks are covering it. So now we're sitting at 27.22, still a nice number. And then let me scroll over to the left here, all the way over. We still have some overhang, but I'm not really worried about that because I really want to focus on most recent price action. So that looks great. So now let's go down. Actually, let's reset. And then let's go down and look at the other levels as well, just to make sure that they're still lined up. It's in the zone, but it's still fine. I'm not going to move that. Okay, so this looks a little weird. So we have a support here, we have a support here, and then we also have this candle right here with this huge wick. So what I want to do here is I actually want to move this down, and so that way the line is touching the most recent support level before it pushed up. Because when you think about it, this is what it did. Have you ever thought that you had to sit in front of charts all day in order to make money from the markets? Well, in this How to Trade with a Full-Time Job kit, I'm going to show you how to master trading in just 1 hour per day without sacrificing your job. You're going to get the strategies that I personally use in order to be able to make time in order to trade and learn and do whatever else I need to do inside of my life. So in this 31 video digital program, you're going to learn some strategies that I've used that you can confidently replicate in your own life in order to be able to trade the markets. And then I'm going to show you how to not get fired for trading and use some ethical ways in order to shine at work and build the skill. Because like you, I'm working full time and I also want to get promoted. So I'm going to show you a whole bunch of other things as well. So that way I can get the promotion, I could get trading and make money from the markets. So if you want this, go ahead and check this out. And then in order to enhance your trading experience, then you could go ahead and check out this 4-video module where I show you my most profitable candlestick patterns that I use currently inside of the market. And it's only 47 bucks. So go ahead and add this to your cart and I will see you there. So it formed this support right here. And then the next thing it did is it had this lower high, or actually it's kind of like an equal high, somewhat of an equal high, formed a lower low, broke this right here, and then formed another high, and then somewhere in here, pulled back, and then it started to trade up. So basically, since that price action happened, since that price action happened right there, what I want to do is I want to make sure that I capture the point in which it pushed off, price pushed off from a level and pushed up. So, and it changed direction as well, because this was a pullback and then it corrected and then it formed a new high inside the market. So that's why I wanted to set it at this level, and this level is at 26.23. So, and then if you look to the left, you see that it lines up with all of these wicks right here, another support and then a push up. So that's why I like that level. This is still looking great right here. This is that level that we drew on the last time frame, still looks great. And let me go over here. Okay, great. So now I have a more defined support here on the H1 time frame. So just like before, I'm going to slide this down. In this situation, I'm just going to make sure that the zone that I drew is lined up with the candles forming this support right here, and the wicks are there. So let's just go ahead and talk about the game plan for this upcoming week, keeping all of those data releases and events inside of our head, inside of the market. All right, so I see a level right here, formed a support right here. And then we have some pullback right here, pull back into the zone. And price, in my mind, has the potential to push up from here, push up at least to right here, and it could continue to go higher. So what I want to do in this situation is, to be safe, I want to consider this whole zone. And let me see how large this zone is. This is like 200 pips. It's a rather large zone, but in my mind for right now, this is going to be a no trade zone for me because I don't really know where the price wants to go. Yes, it made a high, or it made some kind of high here, and it looks like it's pulling back, but is it going to continue to go down, or is it going to shoot all the way up? I don't know. So sometimes I would create a level right here at this high. Okay, let me move this box. Okay, so sometimes I create a high here and then target the next high, but this high and this high is way too close. So for me, it makes no sense to try to trade this area, especially as a swing trader, just because I don't know what's going to happen with the price. But I can say for sure my game plan would be above this key level right here, this key level of 27.22 on gold. I would be interested in buys. And then, of course, as you probably guessed, below this level right here, this level of 2,700 exactly, I'd be interested in sells. And looking at, maybe let's go to H4, looking at the market, we can see that the market in this area is kind of in a big consolidation, but for the most part, this leg right here is trying to push up. And if price was to break these highs right here, this high here, this high here, and this one right here, then I would have a higher probability in my head that price would want to continue to push up, which is why I'm waiting for buys above this level. So I would be waiting for some sort of like candlestick closure or something like that. And people who have my profitable candlestick pack know exactly what I'm looking for at this particular zone. So that's what I'm looking for there. And let's just go ahead and mark off the different levels I would be looking to target. So we're going to use these horizontal rays, and right in this zone, this will be my TP1 or profit target 1 and then profit target 2. So let me just go ahead and mark these off. It's getting kind of hard to see. Oops, I moved my level. Getting kind of hard to see with all of this stuff, but let's just go ahead and mark this off. All right, cool. That's roughly 300 pips right there. That's awesome. And then right here, wow, that's 370 pips. So this would be a move I'd be looking for sure inside of the market, especially since we have this bullish leg up. And then on the downside, I would be a little bit cautious, especially because this zone is quite bullish. This level right here, and I like this level mainly because we have rejection down on this side of the line, and we have support on this side of the line. So if it breaks the support right here, then a possible trade idea for the short side can be right here, and that's about 350 pips. But for me, I would be mostly looking for buys instead of looking for sells, at least at this point. Like this could be a trade idea right here, but really I would be looking for a sell idea probably below here, because we, at this point, breaking this, we would have broken a key level right here. And then also we would have broken a strong support as well, because this support is sitting at a key level. This key level being 26.58 roughly inside of the gold market. So, and then of course I would just follow price down. This is what I would do. So, and probably like the last area that I would look for would be right here, and this is that extra level that we drew because of this right here, but really right in here, like this level right here at 25.59 or 25.99 or 2600 flat, that would be the level. But this would be the last level that I would look for, and any breakage below here is definitely a strong trend reversal. So at least in my mind. So this is my game plan for the upcoming week on gold. If you like this video, go ahead and give it a thumbs up. I'd love to know what you learned from this video and any takeaways. If you've had any success, go ahead and let me know about that, and I'll see you in the next video.